You're back for more Perry Mason here on BuzzChomp, and I'm reacting to episode 1, The Pilot. I'm Dan Salem. In this episode, we exposed the dirty cops.
I'm Mandi.
I'm Dan.
Subscribe to
BuzzChomp.
Woo!
We thought Perry Mason would be a dark, gritty, dirty show, and it absolutely is. There's no bones about it. This is Los Angeles, but there's not much glitz and glamour. We're in the trenches. We're in the grimy alleyways, the dirty apartments. We're on the trolley, and even Hollywood's parties are gritty, dirty, and very dark and disturbing. And Perry Mason lives on a farm on an airport runway. They were trying to get him to sell his farm and trying to force it out. He goes to the freaking court to try to stop the sale. He's also working for a lawyer, EB, who brings him into this kidnapping case. This is not a traditional kidnapping. We never figured it would be. And the dirty cops are all over it because they're the ones trying to solve it quickly. They don't want the media circus. They don't want the blame. It was made obvious to us that they're involved. There's not a lot of secret and mystery surrounding the show just yet, but this was an excellent pilot. It set it up. It's really going to get more mysterious as we go along. Perry Mason himself doesn't actually know what's happening. We, the audience, have more information. Not only is he trying to do the kidnapping, he was taking pictures of a couple of Hollywood celebrities, and he tries to play his hand because he's a private investigator, right? So he gets hired to do things. One of them was to snap photos of this man violating his morality clause. Well, that actor did it with another actress who they want to pose as a star, and so they wouldn't pay him more money, and so they burned him, and we're going to kill you if you don't listen to us. Perry's just getting shit on left and right. His wife and son don't live with him. They're some distance away, and he just yells at them on the phone. He's got anger issues. He's having sex with the Spanish woman that owns the airport, and she wants to buy his farm, so I don't think that maybe she likes him, but everyone's got an angle on Perry, and Perry knows it. He's like, everyone's evil, everyone's bad, everyone has an agenda. Well, that's technically true. I mean, that's just the life that he's created, and that's this world of the show. There are no good guys in this show. Perry's just surviving, and everyone around him is kind of trying to get something out of him. He has partners, but they just want him for the job because he does things that no one can pull off. He's got a little camera, and he takes pictures of everything. He's friends with the mortician, so he can get in and see the dead bodies. And man, he saw the little dead baby, the kidnapped child, and that kind of rattled him to the bone. Back to the dirty cops, who are sort of trying to cover this up, but Perry already blew it up in their faces, right? The father is involved. We saw the father involved, and they want to, quote, pin it on the father, but they were going to kind of defer that. There was a whole bunch of money as ransom, and it's tied back to the church, and one of the rich people that attend the church want justice for this child and for this family, but the family, at least the dad, was involved in the whole scheme to begin with. We don't quite know what the scheme was. What we do know was that Perry found out that the car that was driving away, the getaway car, after the dead baby was left to the mother and father, they found that car, they tracked it back. Therefore, the dirty cop showed up to clean up the mess. And he killed the father, he killed a couple of the other accomplices. I don't know who ended up with the money, probably the church, because the previews indicate that the head of the church and the church itself is the evil entity. And it's just got a positive face and an evil underbelly, just like Los Angeles, just like this show. Perry's going to expose that. What Perry did discover was the baby, the eyes were sewn shut. He took a piece of the string out of the eye. I think he's going to discover that that string is the same type of string used to probably knit one of the turtles in the bedroom of the child that was taken, and the mother's going to help Perry figure out that the father was involved and then trace it back to the church, and then Perry's probably going to get abducted by the church and almost die. The predictions are not that off base because this show lives in reality. And we know how these churches operate. We know how the mob operates. We know how dirty cops operate. Nobody trusts the LAPD in 1932, and we still don't trust them today. EB, one of the best lawyers in the city, wants to go to Perry Mason, a private investigator, to do this job and not the police because they know the police will just close the book as quickly as possible to get the media off their back and make themselves look good. They're trying to put it on the father. Well, the father was working with the dirty cops. So it makes sense to me that the dirty cops would then let it be put on the father. Yet the father got shot and then fell off a building, so he's dead. I mean, I really don't think he survived that fall. So how deep does the dirty cop situation run? We don't know. Not yet anyways. We're hinted at The mayor's office is going to make an appearance next episode and the episodes to come. So we're going to get more involved in the city of Los Angeles, the mayor's office, the head of police, and these cops. But it seems to me like the cops are in bed with the church, and by working together, they were able to extort this money from a third party. So we don't quite know where the grocer dad got the money. We do know that there was no real kidnapping. We also know that he was complicit in the murder of his own son, which is pretty effed up. I don't know what kind of dirty promises he was given, but you let your own child get murdered for money that you're going to get a share of? Why would you do that? The mother wasn't involved. She's distraught. It comes back to the dirty cops and the dirty church and just dark, dirty Los Angeles. There aren't many characters with redeeming qualities in this show thus far, but Perry does have some of his own. I mean, he's trying to help people, but he's doing it for money. I think that the fact that this child, this little baby boy, was killed is really going to get to him. It already sort of has. And so he's going to be pushing beyond what he's being asked for and probably do more than they ever intended him to. I'd also kind of see if his relationship with the Spanish aviation woman actually expands at all. I mean, because that was kind of funny and weird. Like, there's points of humor there. They're having sex, and he gets shoved between the bedboards, and he's like flailing in the corner. It's amusing. I mean, he gets drunk at a New Year's Eve party. That was kind of an amusing scene. And then they go behind the studio chief, burns him with the tip of a barrel of a gun. The actors eating carrot cake off the vagina of the actress. Like, it's just random points of humor that are subtly hinted at, and I found them funny. But the show is so dark and gritty that you could almost overlook the fact that that is supposed to be funny. We're going to give you a lighthearted moment, even though everything's really disturbing and dirty in this show. I'm Dan Salem. Subscribe to the BuzzChomp YouTube channel for more of Perry Mason and other great TV all year long. And comment below, what did you think of the pilot episode? Do you think that these dirty cops are like actually intimately involved with the murder, or are they just working for the church? Tune back in for more of Perry Mason here on BuzzChomp. Woo!
Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Share.
Woo!